So I played a King's Bishop Gambit yesterday that was the quintessential example of these particular principles that I've laid out in this ancient opening that is not completely sound. But I like it a lot better than the King's Gambit. People play the King's Gambit against me. I defeat it almost 90% of the time. So this is a master strength blitz rated player. We're going to develop the F file, which is automatic when you play F4 pretty much if they take anything. And we're going to develop the Queen's Knight first, which we also did in this game. And we're looking at D5 coming into play constantly. In fact, there was a big problem for black. And then we're going to keep the D1 to H5 diagonal open. In fact, I play Queen to H5 here very soon. And talk about cheapos, it's like you're going for the scholar's mate, against a master. So we also played H4, as I recall. So this is an example of a game where black is lost after 6 moves. And I'll show you how this works. Okay, we'll start the engine. Okay, King's Bishop Gambit. Interesting, the computer wants Queen to H4 check as opposed to the D5 move that Manu Lasker plays. Maybe you check then play D5 is just as good pretty much. And now the computer says most accurate is H4, giving black a small advantage. Knight to C3 says that black's half a pawn up at this point, but although it's coming around a little bit, C6 is the recommended move, against which I played a whole variety of different things. Now the fianchetto, followed by Queen to H5. And I did play Queen to H5 right away. I know the Stockfish recommended moving the D-pawn, but this says it's an even game, and it's recommending D5 for black. Surprise, surprise. By the way, he eventually does play D5. So Queen to E7 is a move. Okay, so Queen to E7 is an interesting move, and it probably works pretty well. That's the wrong move, obviously. It's a very tempting move to make. So this guy just guessed wrong. The only move that was going to save him was Queen to E7, pretty much. Because Queen to that pressures the E-pawn, makes Queen to D5 a problem. So now he's lost. Strangely enough, he's going to be down 2 in this analysis. Because after H4, he doesn't have a lot of alternatives. He basically has to play pawn takes pawn. Instead, he pushes. And when he pushes, the computer says I should play D4 right away, because obviously he can't take the D-pawn because he simply loses his knight. However, I played D3, and the reason I played D3, and it's not as good as D4, is once again I'm protecting the E-pawn in case he plays Queen to E7, which is the correct move to make. Now, in this particular position, he's got to watch for a whole lot of different problems, and one of the problems is that knight is trapped if he castles. If I get bishop takes F4 and it's double attacked, and it's going to be very difficult to defend. It's defensible in some cases, but the queen has to come to F6, and all kinds of mischief happens with knight to D5, and he can't give up his G7 bishop, so he plays D5 right away, which you can't really blame him for, and I instantly took this without even thinking about it with the knight. So to me, that's the right capture most of the time in this position. If you remember, one of our principles was keep the D5 square in mind for your knight. So there it's arrived, and it's attacking F4. So as we see, black is completely, utterly, hopelessly lost. And he should be pushing C6 here, but he pushes to G3, hoping for a trap on my queen. So what's wrong with that picture? Yes, we play bishop takes F4, attacking C7. There is no trap on the queen. Even though he comes out, the queen just goes to G5. So he did play for that trap after thinking about it a long time, but this game was lost anyway. So this game is over. The computer's recommending he castles. If he castles, basically, he's lost. because the knight's trapped. All kinds of bad things are going to happen. I'm going to play bishop takes c7, something like that. Maybe just knight takes, winning the rook. So this game's shot. This game's over. So we just wanted to show you how fast things can happen in the King's Bishop Gambit, even against highly rated